Morning. Alright, so why this game? Well, I mean, clearly just by looking at it, it's not that long and, well, clearly it's gonna be an easy review, and that's why. I mean, I did originally intend to review one of those 20 to 40 hour games, write a 5,000 to 10,000 word script, do the voiceover, and you guys know the process, but then I realized I'm way too rusty for that shit, so hence this game as a warm-up. The game I originally intended to review is called Vampiro. Anyways, but that game, due to its story element, would have taken anywhere from 16 to 26 hours to beat. And add the script and everything and all the complexity of the gameplay, and yeah, I can't do that at my current, level. So yeah, with that being said, let's jump into the Shape-Shifting Detective.
This is a very recent game actually, having been released like, 4 days ago? Whoa, look at me reviewing a recent game. Well, recent will depend on when this review comes out. I am, as a matter of fact, writing this review on the 10th of November, so let's see when this video will be uploaded, shall we? As you can see from the clips I've been showing, this game is an FMV game, and as it should be a surprise to no one, the first game that crossed my mind when I saw this was Night Trap on the Sega CD, with one of the differences being that this game is somewhat decent, and, game part is gonna be discussed now.
And yes, I do consider this a game. I mean, in the same vein, I would consider Charades a game, which is already way more that this game can say that other games like Dear Esther and Virginia could not, because yikes. Anyway, so I don't want to get into a long-ass-winded debate on what's a game and what's not, so yeah, let's move on, shall we?
I like that the beginning pulls off a Far Cry. Far Cry 4 probably wasn't the first game to do this, but when you're having dinner with the main baddie and he says, "I will be right back," and spoiler alert, if you actually wait for the dude, he comes back and the game ends. I personally love shit like that, and Shape-Shifting Detective actually has that.
Now, this is not a spoiler because this is literally the first thing you see when you play the game, is that a guy gives you a dialogue option choice, and if you say something, you lose and the game restarts, and if you don't say something, then the game continues. And well, again, due to the heavy story nature of this game, I'm gonna keep the spoilers to a minimum, so you don't have to worry about that, which, if you just want to hear my thoughts on the game, then skip to whatever the part of the video time thing is gonna show up on the screen, just go there. Yeah.
Actually, come to think of it, the scene that would resemble this the most would be the scene in Metal Gear Solid 2, where Raiden is dressed up as a KGB soldier with Ocelot walking towards you. All you have to do is, well, nothing to pass this section, and in this game, you have to decline an answer. Yeah, I'm just thinking out loud at this point.
Sorry.
I'm gossiping.
Gossiping.
I don't want to talk ill of the dead.
I don't want to talk ill of the dead. Perfect. I'm sorry, I just don't have this accent, and it's always fun.
Strangled. I know who did it, but I need proof. It's the tarot readers.
Man, I would love to be a detective. Just, pull stuff out of your ass and put innocent people in jail, and case closed. What a fun job.
Another reason I'm playing this game is because I have a fascination with detective stories. Stuff like Detective Conan, Death Note, Agatha Christie, and Keigo Higashino novels are a big, oh god yes, for me. I like to pretend to be smarter than I actually am, only to be proven completely wrong in the end, because in all reality,
I'm a dum-dum. I mean, I'm the guy when you're watching a movie in the theater and it's like a thriller or something, and like 30 minutes into the movie, everybody has figured out the entire movie. Well, I'm the jackass who'd still be trying to figure out what the hell would happen at the end. And when I get to the end, everybody was like, oh yeah, we all knew. I mean, you could clearly see whatever. And I'd have no clue. And I just look at my friends and go, oh yeah, that was totally easy to figure out. I'm that kind of stupid.
So, the story, you are a shape-shifting detective hired to solve the murder of one Miss Shaw, and don't worry, we will get into the shape-shifting aspect and how it affects the game later. Now let's talk about the atmosphere and the acting and the game, and well, I actually really like the acting. The atmosphere, however, not so much. Let's start off with the acting in this game. With the game, I had the feeling the director was going towards a style that the actors had to take. Everybody sort of delivers their line in an ambiguous and ominous tone that it not only gives the world character, but all the scenes one after the other, the acting feels consistent, giving this world a very noir vibe. Whatever noir means. Just said it because there's murder in the game. Now, while I enjoyed this aspect of the game, others might find the actors being all the same other than Poe, who forced it a little too much for my taste, but other than that, I disagree that it negatively impacts the game. What negatively impacts the game is the environments. Given the FMV approach to this game, and this being 2018, the developers have zero excuses for not going all crazy with the camera angles, shots, and recordings. Because as it stands, way too many of the idle scenes just repeat themselves in a very jarring way. As it stands, a lot of the shots just get dull after a while. How hard is it to take a photo of an ill-boding streetlight? They don't have anything for the police station, for God's sake. You just skip straight to the chief. No Resident Evil 2-esque police station or anything. Which, speaking of skipping shit, let's talk how you proceed to the next chapter in this game. Every chapter is 1 hour in the game's time, but the thing is, you need to complete all the required things in each chapter before you are allowed to proceed. And if you don't and you click next chapter, the game just sort of loops that chapter by replaying the radio, the same thing that played when you first started the chapter.
Well, at least all the information you gathered in that chapter stays with you even if the chapter restarts, so you only really have to do the stuff that you missed. And yeah, that would... So just take my advice, transform into every character, do every dialogue option one by one, because the game doesn't penalize you on what information you tell, what information you don't tell, and you're just gonna save a lot of time and headache by just doing everything and clicking on everything, because there are no consequences, unfortunately. And I guess that aspect of the game makes it really slow, because if you try to do creative choices with your decisions, it's gonna lead to nowhere.
Sam, I've got some heavy rain news.
Yeah, let's talk about the main mechanic in the game.
Now you will know why this game is called the Shape-Shifting Detective. It's because you can shapeshift into any of the characters you meet. This is actually really cool, because when you first try this mechanic, you'd be like, oh yeah, this will make the game way too easy. I'll find out who the killer is in 1 minute. But no, characters will still hide stuff, suspect you because you're acting different, and it's actually rather clever. But with more characters you are being able to shift into means way more dialogue choices, which means getting the next chapter becomes way more annoying. Now, I don't know this for sure, but I think you only need to do all the dialogue options for your main character untransformed or shapeshifted into anyone. All the shapeshifting dialogue is just a bonus, though I am not sure on that. The game only ran for 3 hours, which is good for the amount of money they are charging you for this game, I think, but not long enough for me to fully understand the next chapter mechanic. But that said, being confused by a mechanic after 3 hours of play either means I'm really that stupid or they need to implement it better. So yeah, the game is 3 hours long and I'm a little conflicted on the game because I got a little bored trying to beat the game in one sitting. This is definitely best played with someone, but anyways, my main conflict is that personally I would have liked 3 little stories, 3 murders that were each an hour long, then one long 3-hour tale. But I wouldn't hold it against the game too much because honestly I enjoyed what I played, and I'm guessing just by looking at the game, you lovely folks would be able to tell if you would like a game like this or not.
So really, honestly, only play this game if it looks like it does something that interests you, because I really don't think it does anything special that would attract new viewers. So if it doesn't look like you would like it, then you're better off spending your money elsewhere. As for me, I like detective stories, and I think this one told its story in a decent enough way, and it's just overall a decent game, so I wouldn't mind buying the sequel. And that's pretty much it. So with that being said, I'm gonna go get some coffee. And for those of you who are watching, wherever you may be in this world, thank you guys for watching, and stay alive until the next video. Hopefully it's soon.